First song I ever performed was Yesterday by the Beatles. It's the Bellwood Elementary annual talent show. I was in the first grade. I won't tell you what year that was. Anyway, I was actually on piano because I did not sing back in those days. I didn't find my voice until years later. So my first vocal performance, if that's what I'm really trying to hone in on here. Home in. I said hone in, but I meant home in. Can we start over? The first vocal performance then would have been years later, junior high, 9th grade. Odell Junior High spring concert. That would have been The Rose by Bette Midler, like everybody else sang in 19. Naturally, I'm a little reticent to do that. But seriously, my new box is the TC Helicon. This has been actually an unexpected joy for me. It was just, I never desired to have a vocal processor at all. You know, just keeping it real, as it were. Matt and Delia sort of planted the seeds, and then we saw a show this summer, and someone was using one, and I couldn't help but notice just the increased presence that this vocalist had on stage. And you know, after years of being drowned out while I'm belting it, you know, I thought, well, maybe. So we got it, and you know, fast forward a couple of months, and I'm pretty attached. And we brought it out for its maiden voyage in December at the Skylark, and thanks to Brendan at the Skylark, it was a really great night. We had a lot of fun. It all went really well. I was super encouraged. I'm like, this can work as long as I can multitask on stage, which of course is always kind of a big question. Unfortunately, since then, every time I show this or present it to a sound tech at a show, they sort of physically wince or grimace, and I understand at this point that I've made them uncomfortable. And I didn't know if this was just sort of pushback, like they just want to be in charge of this thing that comes out, and but it turns out they have some pretty legitimate concerns. It's a very hot little box, and it creates some problems because you can't really control the signal so much. It comes through the monitor, and if you've got a smaller stage, or you know, you're trying to, it's just difficult to control on stage. It could get very feedbacky or feedy-backy, and start causing problems, and it doesn't seem to matter how much you're sort of dealing with the volume. Yeah. So I'm not giving up yet. I'm actually looking at this thing and recognizing that I spilled beer on it a few weeks ago, and it still needs to be cleaned. It's kind of grossing me out. But we've got some work to do on it, I guess. Maybe tweaking the signals, or you know, trying to get some different effects in there that aren't quite so problematic. So fingers crossed. Singer, singular, right. Can anyone really name just one? I don't think so. And why? That's, you know. I have some pretty obvious, I think to most people they'll seem obvious influences from my youth, as it were, coming of age. Grace Slick, Ann Wilson, Pat Benatar, Freddie, because come on, Freddie. You know, if we're in the studio and I, you know, have just not gotten the take that I want, we know it's close, but it's just not there. We go for the Freddie Mercury take, and that's the one you want. That's the one you want. So I have a huge affection for other singers as well. Harriet Wheeler from the Sundays, Natalie Merchant. Probably one of my favorite rock voices, though, believe it or not, is Pete Townsend from The Who. Not that I don't love Roger or what he does, because of course I do, because he's Raj. We love what Raj does, but but if I want to listen to Who music, of quite often I reach for the demos. I reach for the Pete Townsend demos because I want to hear Pete sing Pure and Easy. That's just, yeah. What do you think? Why not? Why not? Seriously though, I mean, you've got 4 really individual characters. You have great songs. You have phenomenal stage presence. You have volume like you have never heard before, at least at that stage of the game. But honestly, I might just have a thing for tall, gangly guitar players who write good songs. That might be a thing. Summer. Period. End of discussion. There's someone swimming in there. It was my last glass of wine. Dang, guess you'll have to buy me one. I mean, I would do it, but it's already been done.